9.6 topic according to your NCERT textbook in Unit 9 hydrogen chapter. 9.6 is a water. Now you see water. Without water we are not living. Just you know that we are not live even even a 1 day or 2 days. Maybe water is required. So water is a major part. You know this one. The molecular formula you know H2O dihydrogen monoxide. It's IUPAC name. Here, a major part of all living organisms is made up of water. This is a very simple sentence. A major part of all living organisms is made up of water always. Human body has about 65% and some plants have as much as 95% water. So remember this one, human body has about 65% and in our plants have as much as 95% water. Crucial compounds also for the survival. Crucial compound for the survival of all life forms. Okay, and it is a solvent. It is a solvent. You know this one. Distribution of water over the Earth's surface is not uniform. It is not uniform. Okay, but we can say that source and percentage of total in oceans. We can say that ocean source 97.33% water is there. Saline lakes and inlets is 0.008%. Polar ice and glaciers 2.04% and groundwater is 0.64% and another information is given in your NCERT textbook according to that tabular form. Just you know about this. So this is we can say that required certain points regarding water. Now we have to learn physical properties of water. But here water is the main part. Just you see water is the amphoteric that you have to learn later on. Okay, this water is made up of oxygen atom in a center and 2 hydrogen atom with the help of covalent bond. Oxygen possesses 2 load pair of electron and oxygen and hydrogen they possesses 1 bonding pair. Okay, so that's why you have to remember this one and up to this you write down in your note. Okay, and take a screenshot of this. Okay, now here physical properties of water. And it, according to in NCERT textbook, it is a colorless and tasteless liquid. Remember this, it is a colorless and tasteless liquid. Water, you know that water, ice, which is in a solid form, and water, which is in a liquid form, they are converted, okay, due to extensive hydrogen bonding present inside. And due to that, this is in state of metals you already done, that H2O solid when we melt it is going to H2O liquid, that is a liquid form, and this liquid when we heat it is going to vapor form. So evaporation takes place. Once again if we condense this vapor, it is coming to liquid form, and this liquid once again freeze, it is coming to solid form. So this type of property in we can say that in 3 particular state of matters, that is solid, liquid and vapor or gaseous form. And here you know that according to hydrogen bonding, water also make here hydrogen bonding with respect to oxygen which possesses electronegative charge and hydrogen which possesses positive charge, and due to that just you see between oxygen and oxygen hydrogen bond is formed, and that's why this bond is nothing but hydrogen bonding. So this hydrogen bonding is, now see, this attraction is more, so intermolecular attraction is more, and due to that intermolecular distance is very less, and due to that attraction is more, so force is more. So that's why they attract with each other. Each molecule we can say that with one another very, we can say that attract strongly. So here hydrogen bond is formed. Due to this type of hydrogen bond is formed due to this high freezing point. Remember, high freezing point, high boiling point, high heat of vaporization, high heat of fusion in comparison to H2S and H2S. That is H2S means hydrogen sulfide and hydrogen selenide. Okay, and in comparison, just you see this is very important. In comparison to other liquids, water has high specific heat, thermal conductivity. Okay, thermal conductivity is more because if we heat up to we can say 100 degrees Celsius at that time, they convert in terms of vapor form. Conductivity, you know that surface tension, okay, dipole moment and dielectric constant. So this dipole moment is nothing but mu, which is considered as unpaired electron present in a orbital. Okay, unpaired electron is present or not, according to that dipole moment is there, and dielectric constant. Okay, dielectric constant. So dielectric constant is also we consider one type of important, hydrogen oxygen possesses negative and positive charge respectively due to that dielectric constant is also very high. Okay, comparison to other. These properties allow water to play a key role in the biosphere, and that's why in a biosphere key role is there. Just you see, without water there is nothing. We are not doing anything, because water we drink it and every time, you know that, because of oxygen is there, and our body we can say 65% water is present. The high heat of vaporization and heat capacity are, this is very important, high heat of vaporization and heat capacity are responsible of the climate and body temperature of living beings. You know this one, this is a very easy topic. When you see any vaporization process, at that time this water, if vaporized, can convert in terms of vapors, and they just go in atmosphere, or say just reach an atmosphere, and once again they become clouds, and due to that condense. You know this one, everything. Okay, so it's a very important, and rain is responsible also. In rain, water parts is also there, so it's a very important. And body temperature of living beings, body temperature of living beings. Remember this one. Excellent solvent. This is excellent solvent, because this we can say that here it is a polar. Due to that, certain polar molecule is soluble, or say polar compound is soluble in it. For example, alcohol. Excellent solvent of we can say that transportation of ions and molecules required for plant and animal metabolism. Okay, so this is a very important. And another, they are, we can say that here it is written, due to hydrogen bonding with polar molecules, even covalent compounds like alcohol and carbohydrates are dissolved in water. These are different topics. So once again we repeat, excellent solvent for transportation. You know that plant also transport their ions or molecules by water molecule. Excellent solvent for transportation of ions and molecules required for plant and animal metabolism. Okay, maybe you know this one perfectly, because it's very important. Another, due to hydrogen bonding with polar molecules, even covalent compounds like alcohol and carbohydrates are dissolved in water. So maximum substance, or the maximum molecule, those are polar, they are soluble in water. So this is very important. So due to here one sentence you remember, the high heat of evaporation and heat capacity are responsible of the climate and body temperature of living beings. This is a very important sentence you have to remember. And due to these properties, allow water to play a key role in the biosphere. Okay, so this is all about physical properties. That is, we can know that colors is there, taste is there, then which type of material, solid, liquid and gas state of matters are there, and hydrogen bond is formed. What about freezing point? Density is 1.00. Okay, pure water if we take, then density is equal to 1.00 grams per ml. You know this one. And in comparison to other liquids, water has highest, we can say that, high specific heat thermal conductivity. And here one important thing is given, just you switch on that particular topic regarding. Here one tabular form is given in which I am not drawing it here, I am not putting it here, but physical properties of water and D2O. Just you open your textbook and just you read it. Molecular mass is 18, but in D2O, formula of water is H2O, but heavy water contain D2O because it's a deuterium is there. Deutero water. Melting point of 273, D2O. Melting point is 276.8. Boiling point 373.0 and here 374.4. Enthalpy of formation minus 285.9, minus 294.6. Then we compare it and it's we can say that more as compared to density is also more. So density 1.00 and here D2O 1.1059. Okay, so viscosity in terms of centipoise 0.8903. and T2O 1.107. Almost we can say that more. Dielectric constant in terms of C square per nm square 78.39 or say 78.06. Here some certain change is there. So you compare certain property with deutero water or say heavy water. So these are all physical properties according to NCERT book. Just it's a finish, but you have remembered certain property which is important. Now next one is a structure of water. We switch on towards that topic. Just you read it completely, write it in your note. Okay, now here 9.6.2 according to NCERT textbook, structure of water. Remember here in the gas phase, water is a bent molecule. Water is a bent molecule with a bond angle of 104.5 degree and OH, that is oxygen hydrogen bond length of 95.7 picometer. So this is you have to remember here oxygen, which is the center atom, hydrogen and hydrogen. So here two lone pair of electron is there, which you have to note at here. Okay, so here between hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, this bond angle is 104.5 degree. And this oxygen and hydrogen, this bond length is 95.7 picometer. Remember this. So this is very important. A band structure of water. So this is important. Another, the water molecule as a dipole. That means oxygen, which is a more electronegative as compared to hydrogen, and that's why oxygen possesses -2 delta and hydrogen possesses +2 delta electron density present on that, and due to that 2 delta minus and plus delta and plus delta, this is nothing but positive and negative is there. That's why two polar are there. That's why it is considered as water molecule as a dipole. And this is a very important. Just you see, this is an oxygen atom, and this contain lone pair of electron. Okay, and this is we can say that bonded with hydrogen. This is hydrogen and this is also hydrogen atom. So the orbital overlap picture in water molecule. So this is a two, we can say lone pair of electron, and here these two oxygen hydrogen bonding pair is there. Okay, so this is you have to understand, and that you have to learn later on in a chemical bonding also, or say if you know very well, then according to VSEPR principle also is explained on this basis. So the orbital overlap picture in water molecule. This is you have to remember the structure. Suppose asked, okay, the crystalline form of water is ice. The crystalline form of water is ice. Then when you put water in, when you freeze, and when you put in a refrigerator, at a time Q is produced. That is nothing but ice. Okay. At atmospheric pressure, ice crystallizes in this hexagonal form. Okay, first of all remember, ice crystallizes in these hexagonal forms, but at very low temperature, it condenses to cubic form. That means below 0 degrees Celsius, or say we can say at -2, -3, -4 degrees Celsius, they convert in terms of cubic form. In the filter, if you see that it's a cubic form, that's ice is there, okay, which is in a solid form also. Density of ice is less than that of water. Okay, density of ice is less than that of water, and due to that we can say that an ice cube floats on water. This is very, very important. Density of ice is less than that of water, and therefore an ice cube floats on water. Now this is important. You also learn in lower standard. In winter season, ice formed on the surface of a lake provides thermal insulation. Insulator, you know this one. Thermal insulation, which ensures the survival of the aquatic life. If aquatic life is there, they are survival by, we can say that thermal insulation, which ensures the survival of the aquatic life. This fact is of great ecological significance. So here once again we say, once again we repeat this particular topic regarding water molecule. The crystalline form of water is ice. At atmospheric pressure, ice crystallizes in this hexagonal form, but at very low temperature, it condenses to cubic form. Density of ice is less than that of water. Therefore, an ice cube floats on water. Okay. In winter season, this is a very, very important point. This is asked many times in a, we can say, general knowledge question or competitive exam. In winter season, ice formed on the surface of a lake provides thermal insulation. Thermal means temperature, insulation. You know the insulator is there, okay? Insulation, which ensures the survival of the aquatic life. This fact is of great ecological significance. So this is all about structure of water. Now we see next topic according to your NCERT textbook 9.6.3, and that is structure of ice. But these figures are very important. Once again I repeat, because in water molecule, remember, in water molecule oxygen is a center atom. According to electronic configuration of oxygen, if you see that oxygen, then Z is equal to 8, He got 2x2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz here 1. So just you write 2 and here also 2. Okay. So 2x2, 2px2, 2py1 and 2pz1. So this 2x2 and 2px2, they are, we can say, the lone pair of electron. And this 2py1 and 2pz1, which is attached with hydrogen atom, they are sharing their bond, they are sharing their electron to convert in terms of bond, and that's why here oxygen of this electron and hydrogen of this electron, because electronic configuration of hydrogen Z is equal to 1 is 1s1, which is a spherical. So here between, we can say that 2p y orbital of oxygen and hydrogen 1s orbital, one we can say that bond is formed, and that is nothing but oxygen hydrogen, and this is nothing but bonding pair, and this bond is nothing but covalent bond. And once again another covalent bond is formed. So here two lone pair, this is a 2s2 and 2px2. Here there is no electron gap, that's why here this is considered as, they are not including in bonding pair. That's why you remember this one, and that's why they considered as lone pair, non-bonding pair electrons. Okay. So this is all about the orbital overlap picture in water molecule. So this and water molecule as dipole, because positive negative charge is there, and here you remember bond angle between hydrogen, oxygen and hydrogen is 104.5 degree, and oxygen hydrogen bond length is 95.7 millimeter. This is a very important topic regarding the structure of water. Now switch on towards 9.6.3, structure of ice. Please take this screenshot and write it completely. Okay, now here 9.6.3, structure of ice. Ice has highly ordered 3 dimensions hydrogen bonded structure. Remember that here this structure is very compact, but just you see hexagonal form. This is oxygen, 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 and this is also oxygen. Okay, and between that we can say that hydrogen is bonded, and due to that here between oxygen and oxygen hydrogen is bonded, so hydrogen bond is formed. Okay, so this is dark dot is there, it's oxygen, and this hole is there, it's a hydrogen. Okay, so according to that the structure of ice is just here we draw, and X-ray shows that each oxygen atom is surrounded tetrahedrally. This oxygen attached tetrahedral, just you see 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, that's why tetrahedral is there, by 4 other oxygen atoms at a distance of 276 picometer. Okay, so this is remember. And then hydrogen bonding give ice a rather open type structure with wide holes. These holes can hold some other molecules of appropriate size interstitially. And that's why here these holes is there, can hold some other molecules of appropriate size interstitially. So this is all about structure of ice. You do this structure and you write it. This is very important. X-ray shows that each oxygen atom is surrounded tetrahedrally by 4 other oxygen atoms at a distance of 276 picometer. And this is all about structure of atom. Now we switch on towards chemical properties of water. Okay, now here in 9.6.4, chemical properties of water. This water reacts with many molecules or say many particular compounds and give certain reactions. So here important reactions are, first is amphoteric nature. What is the meaning of amphoteric? They react with acid as well as they react with base. So just you see H2O liquid which is reacts with ammonia, and this ammonia is nothing but base. So here this water acts as acid. Okay, so here you see acid when reacts with base, here it is give OH minus, that means here acid gives here conjugated base. conjugate acid. That means this H plus is from this one, so here OH minus and here NH4 plus. So OH minus is there, that's why it acts as base. H2O liquid plus H2S. Here suppose hydrogen is just protonated towards H2O at a time. H plus is protonated towards H2O, then H3O plus hydronium ion is produced and HS minus is there. And according to that, it acts as a, here this is acid and this is base. So according to that, this H2O, H3O plus is nothing but conjugate acid of this base, and acid is nothing but this is a conjugate base of this H2S. You already learned this in an equilibrium chapter, and that's why you can say that amphoteric nature, because this water acts as acid as well as base according to the condition. Another thing is that self-condensation of water. So here at standard temperature, we can say that water molecule plus water molecule, if it react, at equilibrium, H3O plus aqueous and OH minus aqueous is here we get. And according to that, suppose K equilibrium we take. So K equilibrium is equal to concentration of H3O plus into concentration of OH minus divided by concentration of H2O whole square. But at 298 Kelvin temperature, this water contains, we can say that 55.55 molar, because you know that grams per mole is 18, and suppose 1000 ml equals to 1000 grams, so 1000 divided by 18, that is nothing but 55.55. So it becomes constant, and this K equilibrium H2O is nothing but Kw is equal to concentration of H3O plus into concentration of OH minus, and this is nothing but ionic product of water, or we can say that here ionic product of water H3O plus into OH minus. And at 298 Kelvin temperature, if we carry out experiment on the basis of this, concentration of H3O plus is equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 7 molar, and concentration of OH minus is equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 7 molar at equilibrium, and therefore this Kw value is 1 into 10 raised to minus 14. So molar square. So remember this one. This is not included in your textbook, but it's a very important here. So self-condensation of water, and that's why pH of water is approximate 7. Just to see, pH is equal to 7 and water is a neutral. Okay. So according to that, we can say that here pH is equal to 7 and therefore water is a neutral. Remember this one. Suppose concentration of H plus is equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 7 molar, then pH is equal to minus log concentration of H3O plus. If you calculate it, then pH is equal to we can say that 7. And same way pH is equal to also 7. So pH plus pH is equal to 14. That you already complete in your chapter number 7 equilibrium. So this is all about here amphoteric nature, and it's a very important. Water reacts with ammonia and water reacts with here H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide. Okay, so here this amphoteric nature is there. It acts as acid as well as base according to the given compound, or say according to reaction in which compound is present. Okay, so this is all about amphoteric nature. Make a screenshot of this and write it from your NCERT textbook. Okay, now here chemical properties of water according to redox reactions involving water. That means here suppose this water molecule is reacts with highly electropositive metal just like sodium. It also releases hydrogen gas, which is very important according to fuels, and sodium hydroxide as a we can say that product. Okay, so this is very important. So here water molecule reacts with highly electropositive metal, at that time it's converted in terms of dihydrogen gas. Another thing is photosynthesis process. You know that green whatever the green trees or say green leaf, when it's during photosynthesis process in the presence of chlorophyll, this carbon dioxide is reacts with water molecule. At that time it produces glucose, which is known as food. Okay, glucose is there, and 6 mole of H2O. That means 12 mole is there. So 12 minus 6 here, 6 H2O is there, and 6 moles of O2 gas. So here dioxygen gas is also here convert. Okay, so this is very important redox reactions. And another, this difluorine in water, they convert in terms of dioxygen. Okay, so according to redox reaction, this 2F2 is converted to 4F minus and 2H2 is converted in terms of O2 gas. So they oxidize, this difluorine is oxidized to water to dioxygen. Okay? So this is all about redox reactions involved in water, and we can say that these redox reactions are very important according to reduction and oxidation reaction. So here this topic is also complete. You write it completely from your NCERT textbook. Okay, dear NCERT textbook, hydrolysis reaction, that means certain compound is reacted with water molecule and produce different types of compound. It is produced due to high dihydrated constant. It has very strong hydrating tendency. They are donate H2O very in a good manner. It dissolves many ionic compounds. Remember, ionic compounds is dissolved in water. Sodium chloride is there, dissolved in water. Hydrochloric acid is there. It is also dissolved in ionic compound. Okay, those possessing KCl, NaCl, those possessing plus and minus ion, they are dissolved in water. However, certain covalent and some ionic compounds are hydrolyzed in water. That is P4O10. Okay, when solid reacts with water molecule, it gives phosphoric acid. SiCl4 reacts with water molecule, it produces silica. Silicon dioxide is known as sand plus 4 moles of HCl. Azide, this is known as azide, when reacts with 3 moles of H2O. Here you have to remember just like this way, 3H plus and here 3OH minus. So here H plus is there, N minus 3 is there. So here NH3, this is nothing but ammonia, and this is 3 moles of OH minus aqueous. According to that, here also SiO2 and another, here 4 2 to the 4, so 4 moles of HCl. Same way 6H2O is there, so 6 to the 12, and here 4 is there, so 4H3PO4. Phosphoric acid is obtained. So write down this reaction, complete the reaction. Many times they ask a competitive exam, so it's a very important. You write it from your NCERT textbook. Okay. Now last topic regarding hydrate forms formation. Also hydrate, they form high H2O, 7H2O, that's way. So from aqueous solutions, many salts can be crystallized as hydrated salt, such as association of water in different types. Coordinated water, that is CrH2O6 3 plus and 3Cl minus. This is nothing but coordinated compound. This chromium is surrounded with the help of 6 moles of water molecule, just like this, right? Here Cr, here H2O, 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 above side H2O and below side H2O. So this is considered as CrH2O6 3 plus 3Cl minus. Okay, and this you have to learn later on in standard 12 coordination compound. At that time you learn many things. Interstitial water, that is BaCl2 into 2H2O, that is dot 2H2O. Hydrogen bonded water, this is nothing but CuH2O4 2 plus SO4 minus 2 dot H2O in CuSO4 5 dot 5 H2O. So this copper sulfate hydrated form. Due to that, this copper sulfate is a blue color. Suppose this CuSO4 dot 5 H2O, if you read at long time, at that time it become colorless. So this is nothing but water molecule is removed. So that is nothing but dehydrated form. Remember, here hydrated formation is there. And due to that, you have to learn later on in standard 12, chapter number 9, coordination compound. So here you make a list of this hydrated formation, and here chemical properties of water is completed according to your NCERT textbook.